A new bar is set. Both men's and women's records were demolished last year by international racers who won't compete in today's race. Now it's up to competitors from all parts of the USA to compete on this Independence Day. Will one of the previous champions fight their way across the finish line first, or will the mountain claim a new victor? Strength, speed, endurance, Mount Marathon.
If it's July 4th in Alaska, it must be Mount Marathon. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our coverage here in Seward, KTVA, KTVA.com, and the GCI channel. So privileged to be the official broadcaster of this great race. Dave Goldman along with Clint McCool, as always. Clint, a terrific day, ready to go as the men are going to get things going for us. No Kilian Jornet, last year's champ, no problem. Still a terrific field.
Yeah, Dave, it's going to be a great race. The conditions here today are perfect, and though we're all missing Kilian, don't think this isn't going to be an incredibly competitive race. Excuse me. We've got a couple of great international racers here today, but we also have a couple of newcomers to the race from the local field that are going to push the pace, and this is going to be really, really fast race for the men.
So the weather again, hoping, fingers crossed, you know how it is in Seward, supposed to be good. We're counting on that. Either way, they're going up that hill and they're coming down. As we mentioned, last year's champion not here, no problem, but it certainly was a coming out party for the Spaniard. Let's take a look back.
And there we go.
An unpredictable July 4th kept everyone guessing right up until race time, with runners dodging raindrops, rocks, and one another. But the biggest threat came from a tourist. One of Alaska's best-loved traditions has become one of its worst-kept secrets. No longer just a quiet little run up the hill. With fanfare, Spain's Kilian Jornet had arrived, setting his sights on Alaska. And with a few rumored practice runs, the visitor looked right at home. But the Guardians would rise. The crown wasn't going to walk so easily. It soon became a four-man race, with Jornet, as Ricky Gates and Jim Shine yielded nothing. And 2014 champ Eric Strabel was determined to keep his title. But as they made the turn for the top, Jornet found another gear. A stumble from the sure-footed Strabel finished his hope. Gates and Shine were fast, but would need more speed. Jornet was setting his own pace, a record time, and a new standard in Seward. It was the coronation of a great new champion and ambassador, gaining fans along the way. But Kilian Jornet is tackling other mountains this summer. The field has opened up, and the world's best once again have their eyes on the prize we call Mount Marathon.
And so the intrigue continues. No Kilian Jornet, but plenty of runners ready to step forward and claim the crowd. As we said, plenty of coverage throughout the day and here in Seward. And for more on today's race, let's send it to Emily Carlson. Emily.
Well, hey, Dave, one of the toughest parts of this race may be that there's no one route up the mountain. That means there's about a million different ways to get up and down. It's filled with scree and rock and snow this year. It's really tough to appreciate if you haven't been up and down the mountain yourself. Well, we've strapped lots of cameras on a couple people, and here's an inside look at what it takes to go up and down Mount Marathon.
If you get to the bottom and you're not bleeding, then you didn't try hard enough.
Clint McCool isn't joking. He's finished the race 17 times and still makes at least 30 trips each year from Anchorage to practice.
There's so many different trails, there's so many different approaches to it, and knowing the mountain is more important. In some ways, it's more important than your fitness.
So here it is, Mount Marathon. We start at the bottom.
So at this point in the race, you've got a decision to make. You either head for the roots or you continue running up to the cliff face.
The roots is a tangled, jungle-like ascent up narrow pathways.
All about the handholds.
While the roots make convenient grippers, the congestion on race day could hold you up.
Once you hit this, your head's gonna be right up against the butt of the person in front of you.
That's why most people choose this route, the cliffs. It's a wider path with plenty of room to pass.
This is very steep, but at least it's rock, and people tend to trust the rock a little bit more.
The routes and cliffs open up into what some runners call the climb. Here, speed hiking is the name of the game.
And being in the trees, especially on a hot day, it is weltering and muggy in there. This feels great, just having a little bit of cool air on you.
This is where training trumps athleticism. Clint calls his practice climbs choreography sessions. He can picture each step of the climb in his head.
There's no rule. You can take any route that you like.
The climb takes you all the way to the top, but don't relax, not just yet. Here comes the dangerous part, the scree.
We call it a controlled fall, and that's exactly what it is.
Small, loose rocks litter this part of the mountain, and if you don't watch your step, the result can spell disaster.
And it's very easy to take a trip, and this rock is sharp. If you take a fall up here, you're gonna know it.
If you don't fall here, don't let your guard down. The gut is the most daunting part of the mountain to most racers.
This is actually where most of the injuries take place. And the reason is by now your legs are just exhausted.
Once you survive the gut, you're faced with 3 tough choices. Most people choose the cliffs. The safety trail is for juniors, and then there's the route that's not for the faint of heart.
You do not want to go straight where there's going to take you to the waterfall, which, unless you are an expert, you do not want to go down that way.
Even elite athletes mess up the waterfall. Clint goes down with reservation. It's a combination skid and slide. He uses his hands, his feet, even his bottom. The more points of contact, the better.
This is essentially a vertical wall, and if you catch a toe, you're going for a long ways. It's potentially fatal.
If you make it past this challenge, you're nearly home free.
3/4 of a mile to downtown, the finish line, and pizza.
Delicate dance of control, courage, and perhaps a little bit of crazy. All right, here we are at the finish line. That's where all the racers are going to end up after 3,022 feet up and down. Pain, pleasure, I don't know, maybe a little bit of both, Dave Goldman. It probably depends on who you ask.
Good point, Emily. Thanks very much. We will hear from you later today. So we are just getting started as our continuing coverage of Mount Marathon gets going. And the controlled fall that this gentleman talks about. Runners getting ready to do it. There are a lot of places they could be on July 4th. No place they'd rather be than Seward.
That is an excellent question. I guess it was there, so I decided to run it. It was one of those things.
I think I want to inspire the other people to keep going, and you can always give up, and you say, oh, I'm 60, and then you say, no, you got to keep going.
Because I'm ridiculous.
It's a love-hate thing, I guess. It is the most unique race I have ever done, and it's an honor to be a part of it.
It's Taj Mahal at the top of the heap, all the people, all the hype. That's what makes it good.
I grew up in Seward, and every 4th of July we watch people run up the mountain. That's the big thing.
When you're running down this mountain, you just feel like you're a teenager. Sometimes I'll click myself awake and go, oh, remember you're 60-something, but I feel like a teenager.
KTVA's live coverage of the 2016 Mount Marathon is presented by Alaska Foot and Ankle Specialists. Stride on.
The 4th of July sales event is on now at your Alaska Toyota dealers. Your chance to get the biggest savings of the year on Camry, Corolla, RAV4, and Prius. Want more? How about Tundra, Sienna Vans, and Avalons? All with special 4th of July savings, including up to $2,500 in cash back. The 4th of July sales event, all part of Toyota's Summer of Fun. For all special Toyota offers, visit Kendall Toyota of Anchorage today. Toyota, let's go places.
There's an old saying, you won't find news in a newsroom, and you won't find Joe Vigil there if he can help it. To say Joe gets around is an understatement.
We came down here.
See, he's not the kind of anchor content to just read the news.
Fly from Portland to Washington.
He'd rather be out here, where the news lives. Joe Vigil and KTVA 11 News. Be there.
Welcome back, everyone. If you have medical or surgical problems with your foot or ankle, AFAS is the right choice every time. The most comprehensive specialty clinic for foot and ankle problems in Alaska, serving Anchorage, Wasilla, Kodiak, and Homer. The specialists at AFAS do not require a referral and have been serving Alaskans for nearly 20 years. So make the right choice, your first choice, every time. AFAS. Ready to do it. Mount Marathon, the 89th running of this great race, and we are ready to go. Privileged to bring it to you again on this July 4th, and we are ready, as I say, with 13 cameras. Every angle, every route, rock covered for you. Clint McCool, let's take a little tour around the mountain. Let's take a tour around Seward here and show them some of the cameras and show the folks how we are going to bring this to them today. And we start right at the front here.
Yeah, that's the starting line right there. This is where the nerves have built to a climax, and when that gun goes off, you can't even hear it. It's just one massive movement.
We continue our way down, starting to get a little bit of the adrenaline going, because now you pick up that pace a little bit just before we hit the mountain.
Yeah, this is an approach shot after you've made the big turn and heading up on Jefferson. Now we're approaching the base of the mountain where they have another camera set up, and here's where you'll see people decide which route they're taking, either the roots or the cliff.
And now it starts to get serious, and here's where, again, the decision-making process really comes into play.
Experience plays a huge role here, and whichever way you've practiced, we each go our own routes. And again, in this race, there's no one trail. You can go anywhere you want.
So as we work our way up, you can see some of the athletes coming down, getting themselves set, and the decisions that will have to be made. Very, very crucial as they decide which way do we go, and that can affect you 5, 10, 15 minutes perhaps.
Oh, it can make a tremendous difference, and it's not only which area you like. Oh, now we have a shot of the downhill, the descent, coming down through the scree. Yeah, oh, this one of the helicopter, that's a great angle. Yeah, that's going to give us some wonderful footage once the guys get going too. Shows you just how steep this is and how easy it is for you to lose your footing. I mean, as the young lady there just demonstrated. But it's super fast.
Well, here's the spot where not even our great helicopter and our great shooter, John Thane, and our pilot Turner can get through, at least for now. They will do what they can. Carlos Fora has something to say about that as well, our chief meteorologist. Good morning to you, Carlos.
Good morning, Dave, and the crowd has shown up. I want to tell you where I am. I'm at the base of the cliffs, and that area above me is called the cliffs, and it's pretty impressive to watch the racers go up, and then scary when they're coming down. I'll talk about that a little later, but of course, weather. It's actually pretty good outside, although in the last few hours, temperatures have ramped up. Now, as you take a look at the crowd and you see the way that they're dressed, we have basically a lot of short sleeves, a lot of shorts as well, drinking the Cokes and the iced teas. The clouds up there, they are dark, and there's mostly cloudy skies, but we haven't gotten the rain that I expected. Now, we still could be looking at rain, and that'll cool things down, but right now we're at 62 degrees. The wind is very light, it gusting maybe about 5 miles an hour, and of course, once you get up to the top, that's where the wind is going to be a little bit stronger, and of course, it's 3,022 feet tall. So there's what we call the adiabatic lapse rate. It gets cooler as you go up under normal conditions, so we're expecting it to be 10 to 15 degrees cooler. Weather a little on the warm side, but still it's been a lot worse, and this is pretty nice for racers. Now, once again, Dave, you talked about adrenaline watching the juniors just a few minutes ago. It's really exhilarating watching them. It's also kind of scary. I can only imagine when the big boys start to go up.
Doesn't matter who you are, Carlos. Thank you.
Yeah.
And we will speak with you later. You can see that's one of the reasons why the adrenaline goes. Well, it doesn't matter whether you're looking for a record or not, but invariably records are made to be broken, and we very well could see that today. What are some of the records that we are looking at that could get knocked out? What do you know? They come from last year. It didn't take long from last year to start thinking about this year. And the two top, as we mentioned, Forsberg and Journet, not here. But, boy, those marks, very tough to beat. But you think they have a chance of falling?
Yeah, actually I do. What Emily did last year was just unbelievable. Killian's performance was really impressive, but Emily in many ways was more impressive. However, we do have some competitors here today, especially Ingvild Kaspersen, who has actually beaten Emily in several international races and is coming off of 2 victories already this year. So look to her to possibly have a shot at that record.
As we watched Killian Journet last year literally just run away from everybody, he broke the record by about a minute, and you noted as he was coming down past the Washington Street, it could have been 2 if he had decided not to pirouette and do a few high fives as he made his way through. He was just awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, he really was. I mean, he had the race completely under control the entire time, and you see him here just, he's on cruise mode. He's
All right, so from Killian Journet and Emily Forsberg, not here. Ali Ostrander, of course, as well, not here, and we will document her goings-on in the next week as well. Let's look at those who we have a feeling could very well be in it, and there's a guy who we know is going to be right there, as always, Eric Strabel.
3-time winner, former record holder, and he's focusing on some longer races this year, but he's always a contender in this race. He's got the record downhill, the only person who's ever run a 10-minute flat downhill.
Ricky Gates, will this be the year for a guy who has been so close so many times?
Yeah, definitely. You have to look to him to be right at the front. He has international experience, and this is his 4th running of the race, and he's been the bridesmaid, but he'd like to certainly be the bride.
Who actually had a record last year. But, of course, it was Killian Journet who took care of business. All right, let's get back down to Emily, because although this is summertime, we also have winter on our minds, at least in a matter of speaking. Emily Carlson with more on that part of the story. Emily.
All right. Hey, Dave Goldman. As you know, there's all sorts of characters who run Mount Marathon. I see costumes. I see striped pants. I see rings all over the place and tattoos. But the most famous creature, perhaps, that runs Mount Marathon is the Birdman. It's one of those only in Alaska moments. A painted, grizzled creature hopped up on adrenaline appears from the wild.
His bib and the nipples and face paint, and I loved him. He let his freak flag fly, and I loved it.
Each race in some variation of primal war paint. Most everyone in Seward knows the legend of the Birdman, but how the mythical creature got his name.
Question. He's a friend of mine. I'm the wrong person to ask.
I didn't know that he had a name besides Birdman.
Maybe just a hint.
Turns out the Birdman is Brian Stoker. Pretty tame name compared to his wild flair for the savage.
Well, I win my division every time. I win the finish with bone division.
We met Brian before the transformation.
There is no award.
Today, his inspiration.
But I win.
The shin of a moose.
Bone will be on top of the mountain.
That mountain is Government Peak.
Go!
The race that never ends. It starts with a makeover.
Maybe one feather for symbiology.
Brian's alter ego is inspired by the great chief Geronimo. He applies authentic Apache war paint from a Maybelline box.
I might know how to wear makeup. All right, good job.
This is Birdman's way of dealing with this.
Yeah, I'm doing a finish kick against nobody.
The brutal, painful, and often gut-checking trip to the top. His philosophy? If you survive this punishing, body-numbing slog,
yeah, because I followed you for half a minute.
I know.
You should be complimented.
Was it looking kind of tight or was it a little flabby?
On your muscular parts.
I'm really content to stay there.
His zany personality and refusal to accept defeat, written right above his bib, carefully fastened to his nipple rings. has secured the eccentric racer the enthusiasm of all Mount Marathon spectators.
Because I'm ridiculous.
But that's what the crowd loves most about the Birdman. They don't care how he got his name. But every 4th of July, they line up to cheer on the scantily clad bird with a personality bigger than the mountain itself. All right, so I did a little investigative journalism after the fact, and I found out how the Birdman got his name. He was at a grocery store just down the street here in Seward, and a 12-year-old girl came up to him and said, "Hey, you're the Birdman, right?" And he said, No, I'm the warrior. And she's like, "No, you're the Birdman." And then a few years later, Dave Goldman, he saw himself quoted in the paper as Brian Stoker, aka the Birdman. So there you go. The Birdman was named by a 12-year-old girl.
That's how it sticks. You got to go with it, Carlson. Perhaps she gets a cut. Thank you very much. Well, from one legend to another, let's talk about legends who keep coming back again and again and again. And when you speak about legends of this race, you have to start with Fred Moore, because you just can't keep him away from the mountain. Fred Moore looking for his 47th consecutive finish today. Just a legend.
He is. He's remarkable. The man climbs the mountain nearly every day, and it's a testament. You know, for 47 straight races, it's remarkable.
Looking forward to seeing him do it, number 47. Let's send it over now, the first time today, and wish another member of our broadcast good morning, Jake Edmonds. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Dave. Yeah, before the men's and women's are going to be here, obviously that's what we're here for, but before them earlier today was the juniors. More than 200 boys and girls raced in the annual Junior Mount Marathon. Now, defending her title was Rihanna Boonstra out of Ninilchik, daughter of Mount Marathon's oldest racer, oldest winner, Todd Boonstra. Today belonged to West Anchorage's Molly Gellert, though. She finished third 2 years ago, second last year to Boonstra, and first today to win her first Junior Mount Marathon. And on the boys' side, Anchorage's Luke Jaeger trying to defend his title from last year, just 16 years old. Jaeger is a Nordic skier for West Anchorage High School, so the Eagles representing well here, winning the classic event and finishing third in the freestyle at state as a sophomore. Now, after today, he can call himself a two-time Junior Mount Marathon champ.
That's kind of like what I focus on mainly, but there's so much crossover between the two that kind of when you're working for one, you're working for the other as well.
All right, there you go. So we're not going to be having a repeat winner in the men's and women's races, obviously, with Killian Jornet and Emily Forsberg. We do have a former champion, Holly Brooks, with us today, also an Olympian. So you've run this race. You won it in 2014, obviously different conditions. What was it like back then winning it in 2014?
2014 was a big year. I was coming right off the Olympics, but it was really warm out. It was probably, 75 degrees, which is amplified when you go through the woods. So this is almost ideal racing conditions.
So this is the first year that the women are racing second.
Yeah.
We're also televising it for the first time ever. What does that mean to you to see that?
It's huge. You know, the women are really excited to get their chance in the limelight. There are some of them that are not too excited about having to sit around and wait all day, but they're going to have a great race. It's going to be shown on TV. People back in Anchorage can watch their hard work, their sacrifice, and I think it's true equality. So it's wonderful.
All right, hopefully the wait pays off. They get some primetime racing. Yeah. All right, thanks, Holly Brooks.
Thanks.
All right, Dave, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Jake. Thank you, Holly. Looking forward to hearing from both of you later. Our coverage continues. Mount Marathon. Going to take a break and come right back. Can't wait to get back on that mountain. We'll be right back, everybody.
There are moments that stick with us for life. The day she said yes, we started dreaming about this one. The glacier behind us, feeling the cool air, and most of all, creating the special memories that will be lifelong treasures. Beginning our life in a way that mirrors who we are together. Exciting, unique, beautiful, Alpine Air Alaska, checking off bucket lists for more than 25 years.
Is it possible to overshare? Not when it's summer in Alaska, and not when you have wireless from GCI, Alaska's fastest and largest LTE network, along with nationwide LTE coverage that blankets the lower 49. So go ahead, overshare how much fun you're having this summer in more places in Alaska than anyone else. Because you can with GCI. Now get unlimited talk and text with 4 gigabytes of data and a premium Samsung smartphone, all for only $50 a month. Come see why local is better.
And welcome back to our coverage here on KTVA, everybody. Mount Marathon getting close to 5 minutes until the men take off. A lot of folks in this race. A lot of folks want to be in this thing. Men, women, and juniors. You got to keep track of everybody. You know what? They have that figured out as well. Our Jake Edmonds with that part of the story.
It's been more than 100 years since James Walters won the first running of Mount Marathon. The premise was simple back in 1915 and is today, but the race is now high-tech.
Killian Jornet is your winner.
What the technology allows us to do today is to pull the timing data out of the race in real time and produce live results that people can watch from anywhere. Every athlete is wearing a bib, and on the back of the bib is a sticker with an RFID chip in it. And so there's a tiny microchip and an antenna inside the sticker. As they pass over our antennas, traditionally we use these ones on the ground, and there's up to 8 of these with antennas in them. There's an electrical field here which charges the chip and creates a timestamp as it enters into our orange timing controller here.
The finish line isn't the only spot set up to track time. Splits are gathered throughout the course.
So you know how fast people are getting to midway, how fast people are getting to the summit, and then how fast some of them, like Eric Strabel, come down to the finish line.
Mount Marathon isn't your average foot race. Steep inclines and varying routes make it impossible for timing mats to track those splits. But there's a solution.
This antenna creates a field across the trail sideways. It can sit on the edge where no one will trip on it. The tripods have a leveling leg, so we can put it on quite an incline, and then it projects across the trail as people pass by.
It's all part of making one of the oldest races in the world a modern-day experience.
An experience that we want you to stay with us and enjoy. Getting closer to the start of Mount Marathon, the men's race, the 89th running. We're coming back right after this.
The 2016 Subaru Outback is in stock and on sale right now at Continental Subaru. With standard features like a 6.2-inch touchscreen interface and rear vision camera, and available with features that fit your lifestyle and budget, the Outback is the perfect fit for Alaskan roads. And we have no additional dealer markup. Test drive the 2016 Subaru Outback today at Continental Subaru. Alaska family owned and operated for 45 years. Continental-Subaru.com.
This summer, only one event will unite the world. The 2016 Olympic Games, live from Rio. For 17 days and nights, experience all the action, all the drama, and every single medal event. The Summer Olympics from Rio, only on the networks of NBC Universal.
The Rio Olympic Games, coming August 5th. Brought to you on GCI Cable by Alaska Foot and Ankle Specialists.
Welcome back, everybody. Proud to have you with us on this July 4th. Happy to have you as we get set. The men, just a half a minute to go, Clint, ready to take that Mount Marathon.
Absolutely. You can see the front line there is most of your contenders. Something to keep in mind, their bib numbers are where they placed last year. So if you see a 2, for example, over on Ricky Gates, you know that he was second place last year.
All right, just seconds away now, ready to go. They're setting their watches. And so is my partner, Clint McCool, ready to roll, and we are underway.
Yeah, right there, immediately seeing the top contenders, actually. Ricky is taking the lead. Matthias Sari is right behind him. Scott Patterson and David Norris are 2 APU skiers that are rookies to the race this year. However, they've dominated the mountain running scene all summer, and they're going to be pushing the pace all the way up. Big lungs, young legs, and their strength is the climb. But Ricky is going to go with them as well because he is known for his climbing, not so much for his descent. And so that's where those guys are taking the lead right now. They're pushing the pace already.
Yeah, without a doubt. They are really moving here.
Yeah. These guys are going to get to the base of the mountain in just over 3 minutes. And that may not sound like a very long time, but trust me, it's tough. Just running up this first hill is not easy.
We've spoken about this in years past. This is a crucial part. Every point in this race is crucial, but this is too, because you don't want to get tied up in a log jam behind some people. Then you have to extend some more energy that you don't want to, that you may need later on.
Absolutely. It's really key when you get to the mountain if you're a competitive runner, because the bottleneck is severe. Eventually up there, folks, you're going to see these guys going on a single track trail that is so overgrown that the bushes from both sides, your left and your right, have actually grown together in the middle. And you essentially have to park your way through these things, which means it's very difficult to pass when you're in those particular areas. So you want to get to the mountain as fast as you can so that you can establish your position and not get stuck behind everybody else.
We've mentioned that there are hundreds of runners. You don't see hundreds right here, but that's because they were doing this in 2 waves. This is the first of 2 waves here. The first wave are the runners that have a chance to win it, those who have been doing this for many, many years. These are your big timers. Wave number 2, hey, you've got to qualify. Hats off to that group. Those are guys that are trying to do this thing and perhaps just get up and get down and say, look what I did, and then add to it. But this first group, this is where your winner is going to come from.
Yeah, correct. These are the people that finished in the top half last year and or perhaps are lotteried in or with special invites. So they're people with an established record. The second half guys, you know, they work just as hard, but the reason they split people up is to help deal with that bottleneck issue that we already discussed.
Which is something we see in all major marathons across the country and across the world too, so that
Absolutely.
They can give guys like Ricky Gates wearing that white shirt with the red trim the fair opportunity to do what we expect them to do, and that is contend and lead.
Yeah, and again, look at that pack right there in the beginning. You've got Ricky Gates, Scott Patterson, Dave Norris, and that's Nick Elson, number 5. He's from Canada, but he finished 5th place last year in his rookie debut, and as we expected, that lead pack right there is really going to push the pace. Now we're almost up to the decision point, and we'll see which way these guys decide to go, either the roots or the cliff. Oh, looks like they're going to even split.
All right.
The APU skiers, Norris and Patterson, are going to take the cliff, and Ricky Gates and Nick Elson decided to take the roots.
Okay, Gates on that other side, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. And again, Ricky Gates of everybody, the most experienced of this group. So
that's true.
Keep that in mind as we work our way up the hill, and more coming now. Getting closer to the brush. We've talked about that brush, and this year it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, it's really bad this year. In particular, because we had such an early spring and so little snowfall, all the underbrush blossomed very early. So there are places where it is so overgrown that like I said, it actually comes together in the middle. You've also got cow parsnip, and you've got thorny wild roses, and it can be pretty treacherous.
Great shot from the air now.
Yeah, it's great to have that footage from Alpine Air. Those guys that gives you a new vantage, and you can see how the river is dividing, and which way you go a lot of times depends on where you are in the field.
And already the hands on the legs, your preferred method of getting up the hill, gives yourself a little bit more oomph.
Yeah, at this point, you're seeing runners that are a little bit slower. You saw how the front runners ran through this entire section. Now you're bumping into people that are already breaking down into a power hike mode.
already, and you can start to feel the heat. And we have had years where there was no heat, years where we've had some humidity, years where it's been cool. For a while, it looked cool this morning, felt that way, and then the sun came out just before our open, and what do you know, it's becoming a warm day for these guys, getting very set and close to 15 seconds to go for that second wave, and we'll watch this group come off and then go right back to that other group as the group of 4 there, led by Ricky Gates, already making its way. But here comes group number 2, the wave. Now, what is this group thinking? Different mindset, of course.
Yeah, you know, yes and no. You'll still see a few guys like these first gentlemen that are trying to take the lead. They're trying to push the pace because even though they're in the second wave, they don't want to get stuck back in the back behind everybody else either. There actually will be a few of your second wavers that will catch some of the front wavers, and that's because there's a few of these guys that are a little faster, and maybe they got in from the auction last night, and therefore they weren't placed in the first half, the first wave, but they might be fast enough to overcome this 5-minute deficit and actually catch a few of the remainders of the first wave.
2 letters you will hear commonly throughout the week here in Seward: PR. Very important to people.
Personal record. Everybody's got it, and you know, we all race against ourselves as much as we race against each other. And to set a personal record is, you know, you just have to feel good about yourself. You just did something better than you've ever done before.
And you're talking, as we watch this, about one of the great mountain races, not only in this country, but on the planet.
Oh, absolutely. Mount Marathon is extremely unique. It's one of the oldest foot races in the United States. Some say it's second, some say it's third. But this is the 89th running, and it's very unique. There's certainly nothing else like it in the United States.
And you know, it's not just simply saying it here from us being in Alaska, but that is something now that is being justified and strengthened as more foreigners in the international circuit come over here and telling us we've been over there, we've raced there for 10, 20, 30 years, and now they're coming here and saying, wow, this race really does stack up.
Yeah, absolutely. We're starting to get more and more international recognition. It kind of started with Ricky Gates a few years ago when he came up and ran, and he's on the Solomon racing team. And by having him here and having that exposure, he was the one that actually convinced Kilian Jornet to come and run this race. And even though Kilian's not here this year, we've got Nick. That's Cliff. He's having a little hard time there. Dealing with that. That's one of the perils of going up the cliff is he's kicked off a bunch of loose rock.
Yeah. But you finish your point there about Nick and Ricky and Kilian. Getting Kilian here obviously was so crucial.
Getting Kilian here and Emily as well was just really crucial. Yeah. As an aside, having those guys here, they're very big in the social media venue, and both of them went on their social media networks. There's Bill Spencer, former record holder. And between the two of them, these guys have literally hundreds of thousands of followers, and they went on their social media networks and promoted this race, saying, "You've got to go do this." And they did it to the world. And I got a chance to read a bunch of these responses from international racers from all over the world saying, "That's so unique, I want to do it."
All right, now here's something the viewers may be wondering. With this massive group that we've seen, Bill Spencer's all by himself. How is that possible at this point?
Well, because of the division, because of the the people taking different routes, and Bill was towards the back end of the first wave.
And we're watching wave 2 here.
Here's the front runners of the first wave just approaching the mountain. See, here's where I said some of these guys are actually going to catch the tail end of the first wave.
So their decision as well, and most going this way and saying, okay, they're not looking to win this thing. They're looking to survive, perhaps take care of that personal record.
Yeah, the majority of the runners do take the cliffs. It's a little wider. It's a little easier to navigate. The routes are a little bit more convoluted, and they get backed up really quickly.
All right, well, no backup there as you see the great views from the Alpine Air Helicam and our continuing coverage of Mount Marathon here in 2016. Coming right back after this break.
KTVA's live coverage of the 2016 Mount Marathon is presented by Alaska Foot and Ankle Specialists. Stride on.
Ashley Furniture wants you to know about our new, easier than ever, no credit check financing. Now, virtually everyone can be approved and enjoy extended payment terms. So if you're new to town or just starting out on your own, Ashley is ready for you with our huge selection of quality furniture at the lowest possible prices. Ashley has same-day delivery and active duty military discounts. For our new, easy, no credit check financing, Ashley is the place. On the new Seward Highway, just past Benson.
The 4th of July sales event is on now at your Alaska Toyota dealers. Your chance to get the biggest savings of the year on Camry, Corolla, RAV4, and Prius. Want more? How about Tundra, Sienna vans, and Avalons? All with special 4th of July savings, including up to $2,500 in cash back. The 4th of July sales event, all part of Toyota's Summer of Fun. For all special Toyota offers, visit Kendall Toyota of Anchorage today. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back, everybody. You know, it's not just about the juniors, the ladies, the men. You got to start somewhere, right? And here it is, the beginning. Between 2 and 6 years old, ready to go.
Yep, right. Somewhere in here is a future legend of Mount Marathon.
Look at those eyes. Look at that concentration. And they're off. Oh, we've got some speed too.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm glad I'm not racing those little guys.
Yeah. So our older boys division. All right. What do you think of the form here?
Very nice. Very nice. You got rapid arm swing, extending that stride.
All right, champion. There we go.
Excellent.
Maybe we can get that guy on there for the post game and see what he's got to say. And now the gals, the same deal.
Yeah.
Equal time, and of course, as we've been saying, our coverage continuing. We've got the men's race and, of course, the women's race coming later. So these ladies will look for their moment in the sun. Great that the folks at Mount Marathon are able to do this and include everybody. And it's a family affair. And if you're a fan of this race and you're watching, you're going to hear many of the same names, the juniors, and that is a son or a daughter or a grandson or granddaughter of someone who has run this race. It is it's a tradition for families, and it's passed down from generation to generation.
Absolutely. There's a number of families that have 3 generations that have participated in this race, and several of our former champions, now their sons or daughters are winning the junior events.
And it starts here with the 5-year-old girls ready to go. And you can see you can wear whatever you want. So while we wait for the young ladies to take off, back to the Alpine Air Alaska Helicam. Great shots here, and as we were talking about in the break, we're getting to another key point of this race. We're going to get an idea of who's got an early line.
Yeah, right there, you've got David Norris in front with Scott Patterson right behind him. And I'm not sure, because of our field of view, if we're getting everybody. But if those are the first 2, we should be able to see right here what it opens up. Yeah, that's David Norris in front and Scott Patterson. The 2 APU skiers that I mentioned earlier, we're going to definitely be pushing the pace. These guys have dominated the local racing scene so far this summer and have broken a couple of major records. So we knew that they were going to push super hard to the top. That's just their strength. Their young legs, big lungs.
So we'll keep an eye as to whether or not Ricky Gates, Eric Strabel still there as we work our way down to a spot where a previous racer took some dirt out there for a bit.
Yeah, oddly enough, the sort of funny is that gentleman we saw a few minutes ago kicking off a bunch of rocks. That's Chris Clifford, and that was on the cliff, which is kind of funny for him to be doing that.
And the group here waiting, and of course the finish line will have some action, and now we work our way up top. You can see it's changing as well.
Yeah,
you can see. some folks who are just taking it up there, but you can see around them, look at the cloud cover.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a number of different climates here within just a 3,000-foot stretch.
Absolutely. I was up there yesterday, and it went from totally dry to mist to snowflakes on top of the mountain when I was up there.
And like a golf tournament where you see folks go from hole to hole to make sure they see their favorite golfer, the people here now moving to make sure they get themselves in position from beginning to the middle to the end as well.
Yeah, one of the wonderful things about the TV coverage is it actually allows you to see this race from so many different perspectives, and Channel 11 does a great job of doing that. And this year with the helicopter coverage from Alpine Air, it's really makes it so much more exciting to be able to see the race from so many different angles. If you're here in person, you really typically want to get to see it from one spot because you just can't move around fast enough to beat the runners.
We see our future champions going to receive their medals there. A lot of speed in this group there.
That's
Promise.
Awesome.
I think they've already been training.
Yeah.
All right, so what time we are time-wise? I know you got your clock on, and you've been watching that anxiously as we get a nice wide shot there from our guys upstairs.
Yeah, we should maybe be seeing the guys popping out of the trees just below halfway right now, and this is going to be really crucial to show us who's in front.
Weather turned this morning. It got a little warmer than we'd expected. The humidity picked up too.
Yeah, it certainly did. Those are those lead guys right there just coming out of the trees, and it's going to give us a really good sense of what's going on. It's a little far away, but I'm still seeing David Norris in front with Scott Patterson behind him, and they seem to have developed a gap. It's a little difficult to see from this far away, but they may very well have gapped Ricky Gates and Eric Strabel and some of the other runners. They're just now coming out of the trees, but that's a significant gap at this point in the race.
As good as Gates and Strabel are, and you're talking world class, you said yesterday it would not surprise you to see the APU guys make this move and make this run. They're that good athletically.
Yeah, I'm really watching my watch closely here. I'm time synced with our start time, and if we see them going through the halfway point on record pace, last year the record pace through the halfway is 17 minutes and 16 seconds. So we'll see where they are relative to last year's runners.
Well, they had the asterisk next to that 17 mark there, and what do you know, there it is. And really, you felt the downhill today was the area which was there for the taking.
Yeah, the downhill this year is super fast. There's a very large snowfield that you're going to get to see a little clip of me going by. And yeah, guys, those David Norris right now is on record pace to get to the top. But the downhill is super, super fast. So when you put those two pieces together, and you could be looking at a tremendous time here today.
Just got a shot of the chopper as Will and John up top giving us those great pictures and that extra perspective. We always like to do it with the Iditarod, now doing it here with Mount Marathon, and when you can go upstairs and see what's going on, it really gives you a good perspective of just what's going on and how far they have to go.
Yeah, that is tremendous coverage. Really, really wonderful. And it shows you what a gap has developed. I have to say, I'm shocked. I expected Ricky Gates to hang a little closer to them. Ricky right now appears to be running in fourth.
Is he fourth? Yeah.
And that appears to be Nick Elson in third place, the Canadian runner. But you can see the APU guys getting up and actually running some of these sections. You have to keep in mind, these two are race rookies.
Okay.
They've never raced this before.
Okay.
And their experience on the mountain is very limited.
Okay, so is there a danger of too much too fast?
There definitely is. And both of these guys are known for their uphill strength, and they're pushing hard. Again, I would say Norris is on record pace right now, and if they push too hard, then they can blow up.
Right. And you've got two guys behind them in Strabel and Gates who are expert downhillers.
Absolutely. Nobody's faster than Strabel, but they are putting a pretty significant gap on them right now. And both of these skiers they're very sure-footed. They're very nimble. They're capable of coming downhill very, very fast. But you have to keep in mind as well, they both have professional skiing careers in front of them. Mm-hmm. And I spoke with them, and they said that they were going to push as hard as they could to the top, and then they were going to try to give themselves a little bit of wiggle room, because they want to be able to come down fast, but they want to be able to come down safely.
Yeah, there are smarts, and you have to think about the future and what their future is, and their future right now is on that snow.
Absolutely, yeah. They're Norris is still impressing me. He's getting up on his toes and running some of the more gradual switchbacks, which means that he's still feeling pretty strong. And he's even putting a little more distance on Patterson. You can see there's a pretty good gap between Patterson and Nick Elson. And then another big gap between them and Ricky Gates. And I'm surprised. I really thought Ricky would try to hang a little tighter.
Your number is usually, what, between 45 seconds and a minute from catching somebody once they're at the top, and how much time you would have to get them as long as they don't falter.
Yeah.
They're putting a pretty good sizable lead there in front.
Yeah, they are. If they maintain this gap, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to catch them. Now, that being said, anybody can trip. Anybody can fall. Even the best guys trip and fall.
Saw Strabel do it last year.
We saw Strabel do it last year. That was a great shot. Just showing you how far ahead that these guys are from the rest of the pack.
Terrific picture from our mid-mountain camera now as the lower cameras are taking a break, and it's the higher ones now as the runners coming to them.
Right there going through the midway. That was Eric Strabel, and Tron Flagstad was there with them. But Matthias Sari is coming up behind them. All three of those guys are former champions. So they are, the APU boys are putting some hurt on some of the veterans.
You know, this may be a good time, too, before they get to the top and then start turning around. What is coming their way? Our own Clint McCool. You know, every time we need to get up the mountain, well, we can do it in the helicopter, or we can just send the guy sitting right next to me up there. They've got a bit of a surprise waiting for them that they know about. Let's take a look.
Went up to check out the snowfield. So I went up to check the snowfield out, and this snowfield is 250 yards long. And
this isn't Disney World?
No.
Okay.
So I'm on my butt and I'm sliding, and I'm telling you, I'm doing probably about 25 miles an hour right there. And now I'm approaching the end of it, and I've got to start controlling my speed, because if I come off the end of it, I'm right into the rocks.
And there's a specific way you told us that you have to stop and get yourself back on your feet.
Yeah, it's extremely important that you keep your knees bent so that you can lift your legs up and then drive your heels into the snow. And we do it, I mean, if you time it just right, you can kick your heels into the snow, push off with your hands, and it'll launch you right up onto your feet, and you can just start running from there.
And so about 22 minutes now in. And again, another good look as we reset to our front runners.
Yeah, these guys are just putting a hurt on them. I can't tell you how impressed I am. David Norris is leading. Scott Patterson's in second place, but they have put a significant gap. Ricky Gates is there in the yellow, or excuse me, the white and the red T-shirt, and then Eric Strabel is coming up a little bit behind him. Matt Novakovic is right behind him, and those guys are they're all doing really well. Their splits are looking very impressive, but right now the two APU skiers are really pushing the pace. It's hard to get an exact split at this point, but I'll have a split for you on top. The record to get to the top is 31 minutes and 26 seconds. So we'll see where he's at when he hits the top.
I'll be very curious to see with the charge that they've made up this hill now, whether they can maintain it going back down, knowing that you've got two of the greats in the world with Gates and Strabel right behind them.
Absolutely, and that is the two unknowns about the skiers. That's a lovely graphic there. We knew that they were strong climbers, and we knew they were going to push the pace, but nobody knows how well to do downhill, because they are rookies in this race, and we haven't seen a lot of experience watching them run steep technical downhills, as well as the idea of how much they're going to be willing to risk in terms of their skiing career and the possibility of an injury.
Yeah, it's one thing to go up the hill, it's another to go down the hill, whether you're skiing or not. lady who's just sitting in the truck with us, so you're going to hear later Holly Brooks knows a little something about skiing up a hill and down there. A little different going down than it is up, as she shakes her head yes. We'll look forward to having Holly with us as the ladies take the mountain a little later on. Again, building up here in some suspense, knowing the snow waiting for them and whether or not these guys can hold off. For Ricky Gates, who knows this hill and knows this mountain very well, but again, there's only so much time you have before the other guys just take off.
Absolutely. We're getting a really good view of Eric Strabel right there. Eric is the fastest downhiller of all time, and he's looking very strong to me. He's not far behind Ricky Gates, and Eric is a much stronger downhill runner than Ricky. So, you know, even though the APU skiers right now have a lead, Eric is more than capable of making up a minute on even a very good runner on the downhill. So these guys are not going to be able to let up. They're going to have to keep the pace going.
Yeah, Eric came in 4th last year, and that was admittedly not his best race. Fell, lost some time there, didn't quite have it. Again, a time that just about anyone would take, but for Eric's standards, not there. He seems to be in pretty strong form today.
He's looking more confident to me, and I'm glad to see that. Last year, the lead pack tried to kind of what we call blow him up, and they were successful. They got to the top. Eric, to try to keep up with them, he had to PR to the top of the mountain by over half a minute. But in doing so, he sort of blew himself up. That's why when we saw him come off the mountain last year, he stumbled a few times and posted one of his slower downhill times. So you've got to save enough so that when you go around that rock, you've got the legs, and you actually bring yourself down at top speed. Those guys are approaching the top right now, and they may very well be on record pace.
Experience managing speed and energy. It seems like it's been pedal to the floor. It is full throttle right now. What a shot there.
Yeah, right there, he's only about 90 seconds from the top, which would be a tremendous time.
And that's a welcome sight too, folks. Can't tell you how many times we looked at the top of that hill and said, go away, clouds. We got cameras there waiting to show the pictures. Glad that we're able to see those. Mid-mountain was a little bit quirky this morning as well.
Yeah, I'm really glad we have that Alpine air coverage, because I just misspoke myself. David was in a different position than I thought he was. He's got a little bit more to go. When you see him from this angle, when the camera picks him up from this angle, he'll have about 90 seconds to finish.
It's a great perspective of just how far and how steep they got to come. It's a 34-degree gradient. That is an awfully steep angle, and especially on a day like today.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are 30. The mountain averages a grade of 34 degrees. However, there are sections of the mountain that are closer to 60 degrees.
And if you wonder how that's done, it's done the old-fashioned way, isn't it? Humans, huh?
Absolutely.
Put a GPS on and do your best.
Yep. So that's Scott Patterson right there, currently running in 2nd place, and looking strong. Nick Elson is just coming into the camera view behind him, and it looks to me like he's got about a 20-second gap on Nick right now. Nick's a pretty strong downhiller, but again, we have yet to see the APU skiers and what they're willing to do downhill.
How's his form look?
It looks good. Patterson is more of a strength runner, strength climber, I should say. He takes big steps. He's got big, strong legs. I advocate myself more of a shorter, quicker pace, which you're seeing out of Nick Elson right there. He's taking a shorter pace, but he's got a faster tempo. And if you listen to his breathing, that's actually a much more efficient breathing pattern. You see how his breathing is in sync with his leg movement, and that's crucial at this point in the race.
And he's alternating between hands pumping and hands on the legs.
Yeah, and you know, because the pitch is constantly varying at this point. You're reaching over, you're touching the rock at places, and he's keeping a better tempo than Scott is right at this point.
Always said that you're looking for that smooth, quick step mid-mountain. If you're going back and forth, you're starting to wobble.
Yeah. If you overstride, you really start to hurt yourself. So there's Strabel right behind Ricky, and I'd say Ricky could be in trouble because Strabel's looking strong, and if it comes to a downhill foot race, Strabel's got the advantage. That rock that Ricky just touched is called the V, V stands for victory. V also stands for 5 minutes. That means that's the 5-minute mark to the top. It's actually 4 for the leading men, but for most everybody else, it's 5 minutes. Strabel's looking strong. He's pushing his pace. He's got Ricky in his sights, that's for sure.
Okay, is he close enough to the APU guys?
He's that just remains to be seen. He'll run a great downhill, unquestionably, but we, as I said, I don't want to be repetitive, but we have not seen the APU skiers handle a technical downhill and how much risk they're willing to take.
I don't know who's working harder, the chopper or the runners.
There's Matt Novakovic coming into view now. He's in 5th place. And he's a fairly strong downhiller as well. I think he's too far back to catch, have any shot at the leaders, but he might have a shot at Ricky Gates.
Matt having a better race this year than last year. He fell back early on and was out of it fairly quickly.
Yeah, last year Matt tried to go hang with the leaders, and he just kind of burned himself up, and he ended up placing 14th. But he's looking much stronger this year. So now we have that's David Norris going around the top. And he is going to break the record to the summit. He's going to break the record to the summit by approximately 50 seconds.
Wow.
That's remarkable. That is about 50 seconds unofficial time, faster than Killian and Ricky Gates went around the rock last year. So he's got some time. He's got some wiggle room. He very well could make a record run. That right there, unfortunately, is going to cost him a little bit. He just took a really bad line off the top of the mountain.
And here comes that snow.
We'll see how he recovers. Being a skier, he's very confident on the snow, so I expect him to handle it just fine.
Okay, but the line.
But he did take a very bad line off the top of the mountain. That was not the fastest route. This is, for you folks at home, you can't appreciate just how fast he is moving. I did that in the GoPro video, and you're literally moving in excess of 20 miles an hour when you're on that snow.
And if you move just to the right or the left, you're in a much worse line.
So there's Scott Patterson, and he is over a minute behind Norris at this point. He's about 20 seconds off of the former record, but he's more than a minute behind Norris at this point. So that may be too much of a lead to make up. Although, as we said, anybody can trip, anybody can fall. Norris also, unfortunately, took a really bad line coming off of there. Those guys, because of their inexperience on the mountain, they're just not that familiar with the different routes. But the way they took is significantly slower than the route a little to the left of there. Oh, I hope he doesn't stay in there. That's what we call the trough. And if he stays in there, it's going to run him right into some bad rocks. You'll see him try to get out of that at some point.
Well, it's just hard because all their bins are on the
Yeah, Nick Elson's doing the same thing. Just inexperience on the mountain. They didn't spend enough time up there. You'll see how he's staying out of the trough. Oh, that looks like he's going to end up in the trough. But ladies and gentlemen, that trough is really nasty this year, and it runs you right into some really, really ugly rocks. But Nick's managing to stay out of it. I hope Scott got himself out of it earlier. You'll also notice, ladies and gentlemen, that these first runners aren't wearing gloves. You're going to see a lot of people wearing gloves. And this snow, without gloves, when you're on your tush, shall we say, and you're sliding that fast, you're using your heels and your fingertips to try to control your speed. And it will just chew your fingertips up. So you'll see a lot of people. There's our leader. That's David Norris. He's already navigated the screen. He's approaching the crossover point. There he is. So you see him crossing over the runners that are still going up. And once again, he is still on record pace.
He looks strong.
And he's moving.
He looks like Killian did last year.
Yeah, he's moving really well. Now, as long as he manages to maintain his composure, he had a little wobble there. Hopefully he's not blowing himself up.
Almost 34 minutes, and now Ricky Gates.
There's Ricky, and there goes Eric. And Eric's gonna get him.
Yeah.
You saw Eric move over a little bit to the right because the place where you want to be is about 10 feet left of that trough. Those guys are moving right now, and Eric had just passed up Ricky, and I think you're going to see him get to the scree first.
The snow has really added a different element to this thing.
Yeah, it absolutely has.
Funny, these guys are taking water, but the leaders did not.
No, you know, it's personal preference. I never drank water myself because it's really hard to even swallow at this point. And drinking water really doesn't help you at all, except with the cotton mouth. Now that's Matt Novakovic who just hit the snow. He took the better line. You didn't see him do the little zigzag over here on the bottom right corner of your screen. He took a much faster line, one that I went up and checked out last night and actually gave some people some ideas. Okay, this is an interesting duel right here. That was Lion Kopsak and Jim Shine, who just came across the round of the point. Now, Lion Kopsak is one of the fastest downhillers on the mountain. He has already actually pulled some practice runs this year that were in the 10-minute range, and you're going to see him. I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls the fastest downhill here today.
First time we're speaking of Jim Shine, who of course was in the top 3 for most of the race last year, was right there, right behind Killian and Ricky Gates, and just ran out of steam. This year, back a little bit. Not a surprise, though.
No, not a surprise. It was expected. There's Scott Patterson going through the halfway point. In Jim Shine's case, he's still super fit, but he had another baby this last year, and his focus was not quite so intent on the mountain racing. He has only done one race prior to today, and he said he was here more to make sure that he maintained his place in the race, which you have to continually race in order to keep your spot. That or win it. If you can win it once, then you can always come back. Or if you get to 10 years like myself. Again, that rock right there, that's the V for victory. That guy's 5 minutes from the top. There's Matthias Sari and Matt Shyrock just hit the snow virtually together. Matthias is a very strong downhiller. Matt, not so much. So at this point, I'd say Matthias is going to get him. Matthias is very experienced. He's won this race before, back in 2009, and he's on pace for a strong race.
You know, most folks, when they think of downhill sledding, they think of maybe Service High School. A little different here, huh?
Yeah, very different. This is reckless. This is a great camera angle to show how fast these guys are moving. That's Brent Knight, and we're going to see him what happens when he gets to the end of the snowfield. You really have to be able to pop yourself up and get yourself back on your feet, because if you don't, it'll slam you right into the rocks. You see these gentlemen that are having a hard time even controlling themselves, and that's Jerry Ross, I believe, and if he's trying to stay on the snow for as long as you can because it's faster, but you've got to be able to maintain control and maintain your safety, because if you go off the end of that, you're in trouble. Yep, here's David Norris coming down off of the cliff face. Now he has approximately 3.5 to 4 minutes from right there, and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, he's got a shot at breaking the record.
41:48 is Killian's number, and he's, well, you see, about 4 minutes and change away.
Yeah, I think we could be seeing another record, ladies and gentlemen. This is remarkable.
Who's that guy?
Norris is a fast road runner as well, so as long as he's, you know, got something left in the tank, he's going to be really close to Killian's mark last year, and that's just that's remarkable for a race rookie. He didn't hold anything back. He put it all on the line.
That's some luck.
That's impressive. I'm very impressed. I really expected it to be a tighter race between those top 4 guys, but David Norris is running away with it.
Looks just like Killian did last year, and perhaps even a little faster.
Yeah, that gives you a good sense of the spectator aspect of this race, everybody out there. There are 30,000 people that come into Seward just to watch this event, the ladies and the men's events, I should say. Yeah, here's another summit shot right there. You got Patrick Conway getting to the top. The guy with the headband there. AJ Shyrock is back there in the white cap. And these guys are getting to the summit. They should be rolling over the summit here in just a few seconds.
Again, thanks to our friends at Alpine Aircam.
Here comes that's Nick Elson. Did we miss Scott Patterson, or did something happen to him on the way down? Because Scott had a pretty sizable lead. Okay, well, in that case, that means that
to be able to control yourself after nearly 40 minutes of that and have those legs as strong, that says something.
That's excellent. Again, that's David Norris. He's following the police car, and he's got this race wrapped up. He's getting ready to make the turn onto Main Street, and he's going to come around Main Street right around 40 minutes. And that gives him 1 minute and 48 seconds to get to the finish line in order to break the record. It's going to be tight, but he's right there. He's certainly got this race wrapped up.
Either way, Kilian Jornet came in last year and dominated the race. And the Alaskans tipped their caps to them, including you. I said, you know what? There's a new sheriff in town. That sheriff left town, left the star for someone else to take it, and David Norris has responded in kind.
Here comes Eric Strabel coming off the end of the cliff. He's going to have a strong performance, but David Norris is coming down Main Street right now, and the great thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, is you can tell that he's on a downhill slope. So what you're thinking right here is you're trying to lift your legs with your hip flexors as high as you can and stretch out. And again, I think it's going to be super close. I wish I had my stopwatch on a little closer, but I think he's going to get it. I think we're looking at the new Mount Marathon record holder.
Which means that Kilian Jornet falls back in your court.
Hello, Kilian. You may have to come back to Anchorage.
Well, speaking with a lot of the Alaskan runners, they said, look, he was terrific, but they wanted to keep this thing in the States.
All right. I am applauding. That is an incredible performance by David Norris, a rookie on this mountain who had only been up it a couple of times. And he just beat the best guy in the world by over 20 seconds. The best, considered the best mountain runner in the world, and he just broke his record by 20 seconds.
David Norris holds serve for Alaska.
I'm still waiting to find out what happened to Scott Patterson. I'm hopeful that he did not take a fall on the mountain somewhere. This is Nick Elson from Canada, 5th place last year, and he's going to do a great performance here as well. Last year his time was 43:46, and he's going to beat that today.
We are seeing records fall now when the weather is right.
Yeah.
What is the reason?
Well, it was a nice cool day. The men got to run early, and this was something that I talked about before. It makes a big difference for us to be able to run early when temperatures are a little lower. We haven't had to sit around all day. And you can see how relaxed Nick is running. You know, he knows he's going to get 2nd place. There's nobody in sight behind him, so you can see how easily his arms are moving, and he's running very relaxed. David Norris was striding out with everything he had because he was trying to break that record. But
hardly breaking a sweat, too.
Yeah, but it...
All right, let's go down. Jake Edmonds with our new Mount Marathon champion, Jake.
All right, thanks, Dave. David Norris, an APU skier. You and Scott Patterson were kind of the unknowns coming in. We knew you were fast going uphill. How was that downhill?
The snow was totally out of control. And then the scree was, I mean, it was all fine. Like, I kind of had enough lead that I knew I could stay a little bit conservative and not hurt myself. And then on the road, you know, try to use my endurance to just keep the pace up. So
what we saw last year from Kilian Jornet, one of the top mountain runners in the world, breaking the record, did you expect to come in and break his record?
No, I thought my down would be so slow that, like, even if I had a good up, it wouldn't matter. But yeah, I think I got to the top maybe a minute ahead of last year's time, so I had a little buffer. So
Scott Patterson right behind you. I'm not sure if he's 2nd or 3rd.
I think the Canadian guy maybe got.
Oh, Nick Elson 2nd. So it looks like Scott Patterson somewhat behind you, top 5. But what's it like to be running with him in an event like this? Your teammate at APU.
It's awesome. Scott's one of the best endurance athletes in the country. So going up with him, and he kind of was like, hey, I'm not feeling that great, and like kind of gave me the go-ahead, and so I just started pushing off the front, and it's kind of, I'm bumming not seeing him in second now, but hopefully he's all right, you know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see him hopefully come across the finish line. What was the race like for you overall? How did you feel throughout the race?
I felt awesome. Right off the top of the hill, my calf cramped, like coming off the snow, and then all of a sudden in the scree, I think the adrenaline just takes over, and you know, I crashed into the willows or whatever right in front of the crowd at the bottom, but like where the junior turnaround was. But I mean, other than that, it was like a perfect race, I guess.
All right, it's not Mount Marathon unless you get a few scrapes, right?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, David Norris, champion of the 2016 Mount Marathon, also record holder. We'll send it back to you, Dave.
Okay, Jake, thanks very much. Nice work down there. We saw Ricky Gates come in a moment ago. Again, still that one big question we're trying to answer now.
Yeah, that was Scott Patterson who crossed the line just in front of Ricky Gates. But I'm thinking that something must have happened to him. He had to have taken a fall in there, which is anybody can do it.
All right, so let's jump out and take a break. We're coming back with more, though. We have a new Mount Marathon champion. The great Fred Moore said, you know, don't let him ever see you tired. David Norris made sure of that. He runs away with Mount Marathon 2016. We're coming right back after this.
There are moments that stick with us for life. The day she said yes, we started dreaming about this one. The glacier behind us, feeling the cool air, and most of all, creating the special memories that will be lifelong treasures. Beginning our life in a way that mirrors who we are together. Exciting, unique, beautiful. Alpine Era Alaska. Checking off bucket lists for more than 25 years.
Is it possible to overshare? Not when it's summer in Alaska, and not when you have wireless from GCI, Alaska's fastest and largest LTE network, along with nationwide LTE coverage that blankets the lower 49. So go ahead, overshare how much fun you're having this summer in more places in Alaska than anyone else. Because you can with GCI. Now get unlimited talk and text with 4 gigabytes of data and a premium Samsung smartphone, all for only $50 a month. Come see why local is better.
That's the top of the mountain. At the bottom of the mountain, we have crowned a new champion. David Norris, APU skier, first place, and with a new record. But right behind him, Nick Elson, a pretty strong second. Emily Carlson with him right now. Emily.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Dave. Nick, this is your second time running the race. How was it different this time?
Well, I knew a little bit what to expect this time, so it's still a shock. It's still crazy, but at least I was a little bit more prepared.
What was your expectations for this year?
You know, I knew the competition would be really strong again. I just wanted to come and have a good race for me and then try to improve a little bit on my performance last year. So.
What is it about Mount Marathon? You're from Canada, so why come all the way to Alaska to run this race?
It's a pretty unique race, just the combination of the history, the atmosphere, and then the competition, and also just how crazy and technical the course is. I think it's very unique.
What goes through your mind as you're running down Main Street right here and everyone's cheering for you?
You know, at that point in the race, you're not, I don't think you're able to think too much, but I was really enjoying it this time. I pretty much had a smile on my face for the last kilometer because it's an amazing atmosphere. Everyone's cheering, and yeah, it's just phenomenal.
And describe the snow up there. Was it an advantage?
I think so. I'm going to have some road rash on my bum for a while, but it's nice to get off your feet for, even if it's only 10 seconds, it gives you a little bit of a breather. It just, you're kind of going down really fast on your bum and kind of digging in with your heels a bit, so there's just snow flying in your face and kind of just on the edge of control. It drops off pretty steeply right at the end, so you kind of have to dig in your heels before you slam into the scree, and pop up and start sprinting. So yeah.
Well, congratulations, second place this year. Will you be back to Mount Marathon?
I hope so. Yeah, it's phenomenal. So.
Nick Eilson, thanks so much, second place.
Thank you.
Dave, send it back to you.
Okay, Emily, brilliant performances today. And again, if it weren't for David Norris, you're talking about Nick Eilson running away with this thing. It gets better and better. The bar raises higher and higher, though the times get lower and lower.
Yeah, this is a couple interesting guys here, too. That's Brent Knight and Tor Krasovsky. They decided to cross the finish line together. That's just quite a kind of camaraderie we have here. But here's a couple of other guys coming up behind them, Alex Alonso and Craig Taylor. These guys trained together all year, and they come across the line together, and their goal was to break 50 minutes.
And they did. So personal records, PR, important letters indeed. JE, important letters, stand for Jake Edmonds. Right back to him with Eric Strabel. Jake.
All right, thanks, Dave. Yep, Eric Strabel, third place this year. You were fourth last year. You've won this race before. So how does it feel to come in third place this year?
You know, honestly, this year I'm really happy with third place. So far this season it's been kind of a mixed bag of things, but the last couple of weeks things have been coming together, and I am really happy with third place.
What's up with these rookies coming in and dominating the uphill and coming in first place, breaking all these records? What's it like seeing that as a veteran?
I'm happy for it. I'm super happy for it. This race is way more important than one person, and the more talent that we have coming to the race, the better.
What was this race like compared to other races in terms of trail conditions?
It was a very fast race, dry conditions, but the snow at the top helps out. Always the downhill is very clean and fairly consistent, so you can kind of let it fly and push your own limits. And today, there are no limits.
Were you surprised at all by how fast guys like David Norris and Scott Patterson were making it up that hill?
No, I knew that their fitness right now is going places where we locally, at least, have not seen in maybe perhaps ever. The skiers like that, they're pushing the limits, and they are truly world class. They're putting on in some serious world class training right now, and this is just a reflection. The mountain is about fitness and some skill, and with the fitness that those guys have and the skill that they have, they spend hours outside in the mountains on their feet, getting just as dirty as we are, and more power to them.
All right, Eric Strabel, thank you very much. Third place in this year's Mount Marathon. We'll send it back to you, Dave.
Thank you very much. Third place from fourth last year, but it was a completely different race for him. He had a different look to him from start to finish.
Absolutely. He impressed me. I mean, he had a very strong race, and he was much more composed at the top. He hadn't blown himself up. He had ran a very strong downhill race, picked up a spot, and ended up with a very strong third place finish.
Again, sometimes it's a matter of tipping your cap to who's in first, and today you do that with David Norris, who was just awesome.
Yeah, you just can't say enough about it. I mean, if any of those other guys had tried to match David's pace to the top, they would have blown themselves up. He was just working at another level.
He was the best today. Well, as we mentioned, big timers like Eric Strabel and David Norris, well, those guys, we know they're going to be there. Others have to find their way any way they can. You're watching some of them right now. As we have a moment, we discussed the conditions and what the men now are doing to the course for the ladies as we look ahead in a couple of hours and what that course is going to look like.
Yeah, no, having the men go first, it changes a lot of dynamics, and I think it certainly contributed to Norris's ability to break the record today by having the men go early. However, because we've had 350 men now run the course, all that's, for example, where the screen's at right now, the snow that they're having to navigate, 350 people are going through that, and they're beating it up, and they're making it a little softer, and it's going to be more controllable for the women when they get to that point. They've also had 350 guys that have gone through the scree and broken it up some more.
All right, back down to the finish line. Emily with Ricky Gates.
Thanks, Dave. I have Ricky Gates with me, fifth this year. Talk about your race. What were your expectations, and how was it different on the mountain this year?
Well, obviously there's a bit of snow up at the top, and that it made the first part of the descent very, very fast, but a little bit reckless. I feel like I've been working the past few years to dial in the non-snow descent, and then it just goes to show this mountain's never the same 2 years in a row. So yeah, it was an exciting race. It's not exactly what I had hoped for, but I gave it my all, and I'll take fifth. This is obviously no less competitive than any other year, and obviously more competitive. We saw a new record, and bringing it back home to Alaska, and just going to show that the athletes here are every bit as competitive as the top in the world. So it's really exciting to see.
Last year you saw your teammate Killian break the record. What was it like to see an APU skier come in and smash that record?
Yeah, it's so hard to say. You know, the skiers here are always kind of a wild card. Obviously, they've got huge engines. A friend of mine, Matthias, was just saying that the winner was asking about the snow descent 5 minutes before the start, and so, you know, it's really anybody's race, and having Olympic caliber athletes here just makes it all the more exciting.
So will you be back next year?
I hope to be back next year. There's a possibility that I'll have a project up my sleeve that'll prevent me from coming, but I'll certainly be here a lot of years in the future.
All right, Ricky Gates, thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good luck with your race.
Thank you. Dave Goldman, back to you.
Okay, Emily, thank you very much. And one thing you hear, it is a uniform. Gentlemen throughout, whether they win or not. You know Ricky Gates has to be disappointed, Eric Strabel disappointed, and nothing but good things for the race and the way it was run today.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw great performances, and I just like to give David Norris a shout out. Just really proud of him for bringing it back to Alaska. And this is going to do nothing but let Killian and all the other runners in the world know that if they want to come over here and compete on our mountain, we're going to be ready for them.
Well, APU certainly was today, so APU will find itself in the headlines tomorrow morning and for the next year, because the trophy goes to the campus of APU with David Norris. They certainly held serve and then some. We'll see if Killian Jornet decides to come back as a competitor and take care of business. This is just our first race, though, folks. We are excited to bring you prime time coverage coming up in just a couple of hours with the ladies. We're going to be on the air at 2 o'clock today. Holly Brooks is going to join us as well. Looking forward to the ladies and seeing whether the international group can come in or whether the Alaskans are going to hold serve. Good weather today. Always good to see that as well. One last word from you. If the weather holds up, could we see another record?
I think we very well could. These guys have demonstrated that the course is in tremendous condition. It is going to get a little warmer for the women, but they're going to have the advantage of having softer snow and softer scree. And I am actually really looking forward to see what Ingvild Kaspersen and Christy Marvin, as well as several of the other women, have in store for us this afternoon.
Okay, so the international invasion, we'll see if it works this afternoon as runners continue to work their way to the top and down, perhaps to a personal record. Certainly an outstanding championship performance today from David Norris. And Alaska Pacific University has to be loud and proud today on a campus which may very well be quiet on July 4th, but the fireworks should be going with what they have done this afternoon. Again, another race coming your way. Well, that's it for now. We'll take a break. We'll come back for Clint McCool, Emily Carlson, Jake Edmonds, Shirley Enzer, Dave Goldman. We'll see you in just a couple of hours, folks.
Every day something's different, and I get really excited to report on stories in Alaska. I cover these stories. I need to be out there. I need to be experiencing all this stuff. I need to know. And Alaska is so big that you really have to get out there, because I think it's really important to meet people and cover their communities. There's just so many stories here that I could do a story for every day for the rest of my life and still have something new to tell in Alaska.
Cars.com named it the Family Car of the Year. The Nissan Rogue is in stock and a must-drive at Continental Nissan. The 2016 Rogue has best-in-class front headroom and best-in-class rear cargo space. The Rogue is available with the features that fit your lifestyle and your budget. Test drive the new 2016 Nissan Rogue today at Continental Nissan. Alaska family-owned and operated for 45 years. ContinentalAutoGroup.com.